Get these two dancing in very close proximity. All good things come from a little bit of work. Thick with two C's. Pretty good. Really good. All right, we're back. Welcome to Kitchen Captain. I'm Ian Walsh, and today we're gonna dive into one of the UK's Indian food staples, chicken tikka masala. We're borrowing this recipe from Babish, AKA Andrew Ray, and we're gonna work our way through his chicken tikka masala recipe. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna start with our chicken marinade. 1 cup full fat yogurt. Get this plastic out of here, first of all. It's like walking into a glass door. Definitely full fat. I can barely get it off the spoon. All right, why are we, okay. All of this yogurt's gonna be about a cup. So we're gonna dollop this yogurt into our bowl. Let's just clean this bowl out. Leave no yogurt behind. I do really like that sound. It's soothing. Okay, now we're gonna take 2 inches of ginger and grate it into our yogurt. I'm gonna stop before I lose a fingertip. 2 cloves of garlic, and then grate it right into our yogurt. Is it grate or grade?
Grate.
Okay, this is definitely harder than the ginger. I've had enough of this. We're going with the smasher. Get all that good stuff out of there. Don't be afraid to finger your garlic masher. Okay, next up we have curry powder. Babish made his own curry powder. We didn't have the patience or the time to do so, so we're taking some fine curry powder, and we're gonna do a 1/2 tablespoon of this, a 1/2 tablespoon of garam masala. So that's gonna complete our full tablespoon of his homemade curry powder. Next up, salt, fresh pepper, a little drizzle of olive oil, then get to mixing. He uses a tiny whisk. We have a spoon out, so we're gonna use that. There's our yogurt, ready to go, thick, with 2 C's. Okay, now we're gonna take a floppy chicken breast and cut this into 1-inch cubes. The recipe calls for 3, but I only had 2 left in the fridge. So 2 is how many chicken breasts we're gonna do. Side note, if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, cutting board on top of another cutting board when you're working with poultry, meat, or seafood, genius. All right, now we're gonna take our chicken, get nasty, get to mixing, get these two dancing in very close proximity. De-yogurt. All right, that's enough of that. It's a struggle. Okay, now we're gonna cover this thing up and let it soak for about 4 to 24 hours, whatever works for you. I'm assuming less than 4, probably not that good. More than 4, around 24, probably really good. In the fridge they go. 24 hours later, chicken looks relatively the same, but probably tastes a lot better. Chuck our oven on to broil and make sure that's about 6 inches below the top. While that preheats, we're gonna line some baking dishes with our chicken. I didn't have a broiler pan, so we're using a cookie sheet. I don't know if there's any way around this. All good things come from a little bit of work. I mean, you could, if you're really in a pinch for time or super lazy, you could just dump this whole glob out on here. Definitely adding a broiler pan to the Amazon list. I will have that next time, Babish. Apologies. Ginger, we're back to it. Aiming for about 2 inches again. This is tricky on the old fingertips. There's gotta be a theory I'm missing. Other than using a longer piece of ginger, if anyone has any theories on how to properly grate these things, please share them. Because I'm like dancing really close to losing the tip of the thumb there. Okay, on to our next grating material, 2 cloves of garlic. I also don't feel like losing the tip of my thumb again, so we're just gonna chuck these things into a press or a smasher or whatever the hell this thing is called. I feel like that kind of does the trick, right? Quick reload of the shotgun here. Back in, press. Tiny, but spicy. We have 1 bird's eye chili here. I have a Serrano here because I'm not too sure of the heat of these guys, so I'm gonna try it. That's hot. The thing is hot as hell. I think 1 will be good. Now is a great time if you're fondling these chilies, to do not touch your eyes after. I learned that in another episode when we were making pad kee mao. It was burning for like 3 hours after. Okay, that's hot enough for sure. My eyes are about to water. That's powerful. That thing's like picking up heat as it's going. It's like not so much in the front. It's like lodged back here spicy. Those things are not to be trifled with. The bird's eye chili? What is that? I do need a sip of water though. I should have maybe diced that up more. It'll cook down. Okay, next up we have a yellow onion. We're gonna do half of this baby. Just learn this snazzy little technique to onion dicing. You trim it in half lengthways, then you take the tip off the opposite of where that little root ball is. Peel back that first layer and start cutting in. And then you go in on the low tide side and then the mid tide side. And I'm kind of holding the edges intact so it doesn't splay open like a little spatchcock chicken. But pay attention to that thumb. Don't let that thing get lost down there because the knife is definitely sharper than your skin. Okay, we got a pot or a saucepan, whatever you want to call it, medium-high heat, 2 tablespoons oil. I'm using canola oil for this, which is what the recipe says. First into our pot is as much onions as we can get without throwing it all over the kitchen floor like that. Didn't quite get across the river there. Still good. Just sweep this right in with a bunch of sand into our chicken tikka masala. Okay, while our onions start firing, we're gonna open up a can of tomato paste. We're gonna use a tablespoon of this, and we're gonna open a can of 28-ounce crushed tomatoes. We've had a lot of arguments about these can openers, if they work or not. That one certainly did not. Oh, that one did. Okay, after our onions have been firing for about a minute, we're gonna add our chilies, ginger, and garlic. Tablespoon of our tomato paste. We're gonna do a heaping tablespoon of our curry powder and our garam masala. Probably butchered that verbally. It'll come around at some point. Now we're gonna mix this together for 30 seconds before we add in our can of tomatoes. Definitely smells like an Indian kitchen right now. A little pinch of sugar, 2 pinches of sugar. And according to Andrew Ray, AKA Babish, that'll help with the sauce's acidity. Okay, open your oven, don't lose an eyebrow. It is hot. Slide our chicken in. We're gonna broil these for about 10 minutes. We want them to go to about 160 internal temp, not cooked all the way because they're gonna finish in our sauce. Okay, the broiler took 15 minutes instead of 10. So maybe my broiler is just a little limp, but they look charred, they're about done. Okay, now we're gonna use 3/4 cup heavy cream. You see the line, let's get there. My eyes did not abandon me. Now we're gonna add our heavy cream to our tomato sauce. And this cream is what is going to take our sauce from a blistering red into that classic tikka masala orange tint. Okay, now we're gonna add our little nuggets into our sauce. And we brought the chicken up to about 160 internal temp, but make sure you get all those things nice and coated. Cover and cook for about 5 to 10 more minutes. Okay, now taste and salt and pepper accordingly without burning your lips off. That's really good. Okay, we're done. Okay, there we go. Chicken tikka masala compliments of Andrew Ray, AKA Babish. Let's get into it. Goddamn good. That was a big piece of chicken. We did basmati rice in a pressure cooker. That's delicious. I mean, it's no wonder this is such a hit in England. That passes the test. Babish's chicken tikka masala, done easy at home, and I think we proved that anyone can make this. Thanks for watching. Pretty f***ing good. Really f***ing good. The knife is definitely sharper than your skin.